sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day. Today is day 661, and we are approaching the final moments of week 52, the closing chapter of a year-long journey of inner growth, heartful connection, and spiritual refinement. Each evening this week feels like a soft farewell, not to an ending, but to a beautiful beginning that this year has prepared us for. The quality we are immersing ourselves is constant remembrance. It is the heart's natural gravitation toward the divine, even in silence. Constant remembrance isn't about effort, it's about subtle presence, a background awareness of the beloved Master in the midst of all that we do. It allows life to become prayerful and simple, full of love and surrender. As Babuji wrote in Reality at Dawn, when the thought of the divine remains at the back of the mind, we begin to feel his presence within and around us. This is the beginning of constant remembrance. The divine doesn't ask us to withdraw from life to find him. He asks us to include him in our living. Therefore, constant remembrance can look very simple. It can be a quiet pause before beginning your day, a soft thought of the great master in moments of gratitude or confusion, or a silent prayer as you go about doing the routine chores. The more naturally we allow these moments to arise, the more constant and effortless they become. In time, remembrance ceases to be an action. It becomes a state of being. Daaji reminds us, remembrance makes life sacred. It turns the ordinary into the divine and the mundane into the meaningful. We will let us now move into tonight's inspirational reading. And before we start with our reading, let us not forget to also share the gift of master classes and being heartful everyday sessions with our near and dear ones who may derive benefit from these sessions. And we will now resume our reading, which is from the article Constant Remembrance. By meditating, we create a temporary lull in our mind, and calmness prevails for the time during which we are in touch with the divine force. But meditation only at a certain fixed hour is not enough, for we are thus in touch with the sacred thought only for a while, after which we have no idea of God whatsoever and are, for the most part of the day, away from the path of service and devotion. This is the reason why, after years of practice, we often still find ourselves at the lowest level of spiritual attainment. What in fact we feel during meditation is only simplicity and calmness. If we are rightly guided by a capable master. But an aspirant is generally unable to understand it, for it is beyond his conception at the early stages. The effect, thus, being imperceptible, he often complains that he feels nothing during meditation. This is chiefly due to the fact that he remains in touch with the divine force only for a few minutes of practice. Does the real thing gained during meditation remains with him only for a while? On the other hand, there is a man who tries to retain the effect gained by meditation for the most part of the day and abides in the same state for as long as he can. He is, in a way, in constant remembrance of God, and his progress is easy and rapid. Some people think that constant or even frequent remembrance of God is not practicable when a man in life is surrounded by numerous worries and anxieties caused by worldly attachment and responsibilities. But practice and experience will prove to them that it is a very easy process and can be followed by any and everyone in spite of all worries and engagements. Only if they divert their attention towards God in the real sense. The idea of Guru as the supreme divine force is very helpful in a spiritual pursuit. I repeat, the idea of Guru as the supreme divine force is very helpful in a spiritual pursuit. You depend upon his guidance, thinking him to be a superhuman being. If you go on with your busy routine of life, dedicating everything to your master, imagine what good it will bring to you in the long run. While doing a thing, think that you are not doing it for yourself, but for your master. Or rather, think that your master himself is doing it for himself. While at the breakfast table, you must think that your master is breaking his fast. When you go to the office, think that your master is doing all this. While returning from the office, suppose you see an attractive dance on the way. Your eyes are caught by the charming appearance of the dancer. Your thoughts seem to be diverted for a while. Then also think that your master and not you is seeing the dance. You will at once lose curiosity for it because your master's power will begin to flow in to relieve you of the temptation. When you come back from the office, your children rejoice to see you after so many hours. You too enjoy their merriments, and it is but natural. Your attention is for a while diverted towards them, and you feel a bit away from the sacred thought. What you are to do then is to think that your master within is himself enjoying, and you shall be in touch with the same sacred thought again. If you are chatting with your friend, think that your master, not you, is talking to him. While walking, think that your master himself is walking. During meditation, if you entertain that idea that not you but your master himself is meditating on his own form, it shall bring about excellent results. Similarly, you can adjust yourself in all your routine of work If you cultivate this feeling and maintain the outlook that your master is doing everything in your place, you shall not only be in constant remembrance all the while, your action will cause no impression whatsoever, and very soon you will cease making further samskars. We take the pause here and prepare ourselves for the universal prayer. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and the real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। to the remembrance of the divine, awakening every heart. And as you prepare yourself to rest tonight, bring the beloved Master into your awareness and reflect on the moments when remembrance was present to you and the moments when it was forgotten. Offer it all to Him in the prayer, with a gentle resolve to stay connected a little more. So let us remember to offer the bedtime prayer and the reflections of the day. Thank you, dear sisters and brothers, for joining the evening session today. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our morning session at 6 a.m. Until then, may you remain deeply absorbed in Master's constant remembrance. Wishing you a very good night.